Welcome back. Of course, the elections that will determine control of the Senate are on Tuesday, and we're delighted to welcome one of the candidates right now, Senator David Perdue. Great to see you, Senator. For those of us who've been with this show from the beginning, they'll remember you were one of our very first guests. We talked to you about that great work you did on immigration. Great to see you again tonight. Before we get to the substance of your campaign and the opponent, I just want to get your reaction to this tape that's been leaked. Your state Secretary of State on there talking with the president. How do you think it's going to affect the election on Tuesday?
I don't think it's really going to affect our election. I'm still shocked that a member of the Republican Party would tape a sitting president and then leak that. It's disgusting in my view. But what the president said is exactly what he's been saying the last few months, and that is that, or the last 2 months anyway, we've had some irregularities in the election in November, and he wants some answers. He has not gotten them yet from our Secretary of State. It's one reason why I asked for him to resign. We haven't got it from our state legislature because there's been no special session called. And then he went to court, the president went to court, and then I went to court. And the courts have denied us hearings, saying that it's more of a legislative issue. So what the president said in this tape today is no different than what he's been saying for the last 2 months.
So the president's going to be there in Georgia supporting your campaign and your colleagues tomorrow. What are you hoping he'll do? What are you hoping he'll say?
Well, I know what he's going to do. He's going to call his faithful out here. Some 2.5 million people voted for Donald Trump in November. 2.5 million people voted for me. He's going to remind them that the future of the country is in their hands. The people of Georgia will determine the future direction of our country. He's going to remind them of that. The people of Georgia will determine if our children will live under an oppressive socialist government or will continue to enjoy the freedoms that we all cherish. He's coming down here to help us win this election because he knows what's at stake. Not only do we need to hold off this radical socialist and very dangerous agenda the Democrats are trying to perpetrate, but also to protect what Donald Trump and this agenda has achieved over the last 4 years. Look, 6.5 million people were pulled out of poverty in the last 3.5 years before COVID, and we lowered the debt curve by $2 trillion before the pandemic hit. So we're trying to do both of these and hold the line here in Georgia.
That's exactly right. I think that's so important to remember that it's not just the future changes in terms of the agenda that the Democrats have. It's actually undoing all the things that the president and his team put in there, particularly on areas like regulation and taxation that have created all that wealth. You lose all the benefit of that. I just want to ask you what you think is the balance in terms of people who, when they're going out to vote, between those national issues that you just mentioned and then the more localized issues, particularly in relation to your opponent, Jon Ossoff, which is going to be more important, their view as to who they want to represent them or control of the Senate overall?
I think it's as simple as this, Steve. 75 million people voted for Donald Trump, and their eyes are on Georgia right now. 2.5 million people voted for Donald Trump in Georgia. There are many of those who have not voted yet because they, for one reason or another, they may have been upset about the November election. But traditionally, Republicans in Georgia vote on Election Day. We're in the same position now we were in November. We came then and delivered the vote. We're going to do it again Tuesday. The Democrats know they can't win if we get our vote out. And so that's what the president is coming here to do. That's what we've been purposing to do. And I am delighted that he's coming. I think we will show the world that the people in Georgia know what's at stake here. We're going to hold the line here in Georgia. We've often said in our bus tour, win Georgia and save America, and it really is not a slogan. It is the absolute truth, Steve.
Yeah, and it was Chuck Schumer, wasn't it, in slightly menacing terms, said the exact opposite, and I think he really crystallized the stakes as well.
Well, he did. He said, take Georgia, we change America. But add to that what AOC said, and that is, oh, no, we have to have these 2 seats, if the Democrats do, because they don't want to negotiate. They want the Green New Deal without compromise. Even Pelosi yesterday said this will give them, if they win these 2 seats, it will give them a supermajority, and they do everything they want. The most telling thing, though, was what Schumer said 2 months ago. He says, I haven't worked this hard to become the majority leader, not to get everything done that we want to get done. He's talking about total control, Steve, as you called out. He wants total power. He's going to change the voting rules. He's going to stack the Supreme Court. He's going to add Democrat seats to the Senate. And eventually, he wants to do away with the Electoral College. So that's the only way that they will ever be able to perpetrate this socialist agenda that is so dangerous.
Well, Senator, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck, and we hope we'll see you back here as Senator for Georgia again. See you soon.
Thanks, Steve.